Hi, my name's Noah. I'm a photographer and filmmaker. I've lived in North Carolina my entire life and haven't traveled too far out besides the occasional beach trip. Yet here I am, on the start of the biggest trip of my life. Fresh out of high school, the start of summer, truly the perfect time to do something new. Just my Mimi, my Papaw, and me, starting from my home state of North Carolina. 3 weeks of scenic driving, hiking, and taking photos. Lots of photos ahead of us. Our first pit stop landed us in the best convenience store in the world, Buc-ee's. After that, we passed through Nashville and stopped to see Carter's Vintage Guitars, which was super cool to see. After days of driving through the Midwest, we finally arrived at our first destination. The Badlands were pretty spectacular. I was surprised by just how much wildlife we saw. First on the list were the prairie dogs. We saw these little guys before we even got into the park, and I gotta admit, they're pretty adorable. We saw a few other animals here and there, bison and pronghorn to name a few, but the big ticket item was the last animal we saw, the bighorn sheep.
You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no pain. Paradise that makes me think.
After leaving the Badlands, we passed through the snow-covered mountains of Bighorn National Forest, which for me is not something you see every day in June. Now for my most anticipated stop. Grand Teton was beautiful. Although we didn't see as much large wildlife in the park, Yellowstone definitely made up for that. The hikes were absolutely stunning, especially Jenny Lake Loop. However, we did see a bunch of small wildlife, including birds, marmots, and even some river otters.
Doesn't mean that much to mean that much to you. I've been first and last. Look at how the time. Uptown got its hustlers, the Bowery got its bums. 42nd Street got Big Jim, a walker, he a bull shooting son of a gun. Yeah, he big and dumb as a man can come, but he's stronger than a country horse. And when the bad folks all get together at night, you know they all call Big Jim Ball just because.
As we made our way to the next location, we stopped by Craters of the Moon, which, in all words, was a glorified desert. Still pretty cool to see, though.
You don't pull a mask off an old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim.
After driving through mountains, valleys, and even through a desert, we finally made it to our third stop.
Don't you know that you don't tug on Superman's cape? You don't spit into the wind. You don't pull the mask off an old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. Well, a hush fell over the pool room, and Jimmy come popping in an awful street. And when the cutting was done, the only part that wasn't bloody was the soles of the big man's feet. Yeah, he was cut in about 100 places, and he was shot in a couple more. And you better believe I sung a different kind of story when a big Jim hit the floor. Yeah, they say you don't tug on.
Mount Rainier was my very first taste of the western old growths. We hiked around the Nisqually area of the park. I was on the lookout for owls, as there are 3 different species in the park. And even though we unfortunately didn't see any, I got to get super up close with a few Douglas squirrels and even a dusky grouse late in the evening.
Got a 2-piece custom-made for you. Yeah, you don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't spit into the wind. You don't pull the mask off an old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Slim.
Now for the next stop of the trip.
Let me take you on a little trip. My supersonic ship's at your disposal if you feel so inclined. Well, alright. We're gonna travel faster than light, so do up your overcoat tight, and we'll go anywhere you want to decide. Well, alright. Too many people side by side, got no place to hide. On my supersonic rocket ship, nobody has to be helped, nobody needs to be out of sight. Oh, out of sight, man.
Olympic was the most surreal thing I'd seen so far. It was more diverse than any other parks we'd ever been to, from the lush rainforest to the coastal tide pools and rocky beaches. The Douglas squirrels followed us from Rainier, and I also saw this slug along one of the trails.
Turn it upside down. My supersonic rocket ship.
Finally, the sun set as we drove out of Olympic and down the coast of Oregon. But there was still one more stop to make before returning home. Last, but certainly not least.
All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray. I've been for a walk on a winter's day. I'd be safe and warm if I was in LA. California dreaming on such a winter's day. Stopped into a church.
The redwoods were just amazing. We hiked a few trails around the park during the day, and while everything was incredible to see, the hydrangeas, birds, sea life, and small critters, there was one thing that I was on the lookout for. Banana slugs. These not-so-little guys are the second largest slug in the world. We found a few of them around the park, and they sure held up to their reputation. On the way home now. The trip is coming to an end. As all things do, really. But I can't help but take this time to think. I'm an adult now. I'm going to college soon. I'm beginning a new chapter in my life. And with that, a chapter's ended. My childhood. I realize now that all the good times I had as a kid are just memories now. All the late nights playing video games, running around the lake house looking for frogs. It's all in the past. It's a part of life you just kind of take for granted. Growing up, I knew every kid wanted to be an adult, me included. We had fun as all kids do, but we never really appreciated the time we had. This trip is kind of like a finale to my childhood. It's the last big thing before starting life as an adult. Am I nervous? A little. But I'm also excited for the future. I never made this video for views or recognition. I made this video to look back on in 20 years and remember what it was like to be a kid. Just living life free of worries. And that goes to anyone who watches this. Take this video as a reminder to sit back and breathe. Go out and explore, just as you did when you were a kid. Remember to enjoy life and live it to its fullest. Because the one thing that we can't fulfill is the time that's already passed.
Come on. Come on.